Oh, hi. This is my old keyboard. This is my new keyboard. Now, my new keyboard, the functionality is not great. As you can see, when I try to type on it, it doesn't really have reactive, applications, but it's very fuzzy, it's very stripy, and it seems to like me a lot better than my old keyboard. Anyway, I am getting ready to work on my Booster Gold print. Well, commission. It's a commission, it's a print. The Booster Gold thing is the point. And before I do that, though, I got on my keyboard. Excuse me, keyboard. Blast of light. Why? Always. Can you not? Son. Anyway, man, I'm having trouble with my train of thought today. I apologize. My train of thought is just off the track, and the mechanics out there are like, I'm gonna have a cup of coffee. I'm the mechanic. Look, I'm having a cup of coffee. No, but anyway, I talked to Kablam because of a few reasons. One, I wanted to get credit for wearing the shirt to Godzilla Night, which I also then posted. I think I had posted an Instagram picture, but I went ahead and posted into my con pictures, and I realized I didn't put it up in my Facebook album, by the way. That's what I'm talking about. I realized no transition there. So I posted them up there and then linked to Kablam. Was like, hey, I want my credit because, Kablam credit. And then I also contacted them because I'm getting a reprint of my first issue. And as I had talked about, I have a signing this weekend at a local shop, which is awesome, but I've got like 10 or 12 issues left, which is a great problem to have. But I'm like, maybe I can get them to expedite the shipping or something, because I have today's Tuesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I have 4 days. So if they send it today, I'd get it. I don't know how personal, I don't know how small an operation is. In my mind, I'm like, well, if they've got like 10 people in an office, maybe they'd go, oh, well, these other people don't need it, and whatever. I just tried the personal touch. And if they come back and say, hey, send us $20 for expedited shipping, I might do it. It's not cost effective, but I worry, and it's probably an unjustified worry, but I worry that I'm going to be at the shop, sell out of 12 issues, and then be sitting there with, prints and sketches, but just telling people about my book, right? Well, I guess I'll have my one copy. I don't know. It's a good problem to have that I'm running out of my book. It would be a good problem to have to get to the shop, sell my 12 issues, and not have any more. But I don't want to have that problem. I want to have a lot so that if people want them, they could have them. And also, I feel like because the shop owner is doing me a favor and is going to be, assumedly taking a percentage of the sales and things, I don't want them to be like, what? He brought 12 copies? So I'm going to see if I could expedite that. The other thing I'm doing is tomorrow, I may have mentioned this. I'm kind of losing track of what I've mentioned. My sleep has been crazy. But the other thing is tomorrow I'm going to go up north with my buddy, the big dog. He's going to be toy hunting. I mean, I'll be with him, so I'll look at toys too. But we're going to revisit some of the comic stores, which I dropped it off at, and put it on consignment, because some of them said, like, hey, if it doesn't sell in a month or two, maybe pick some up. Some of them, it's been there for months. So if they've got 6 issues sitting there that haven't sold, maybe I'll take 3 back. Just so I'll have them. I don't want to do that, but again, I'm getting nervous about this thing. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to get to work, and we'll talk more about working. Well, I've reached the point where I hate this drawing. Yes. I've been trying to clean up, not even the final, but I have to ink it. So I wanted to get a clean, tight, sort of digital pencil that I would then print out and put on the Bristol. Been working on it for an hour or 2 now. And I did Blue Beetle's face almost immediately. Facial expressions, especially goofy ones, are fairly easy for me. And then I have been drawing and redrawing and redrawing and redrawing his body. I liked kind of the gesture pose I had, but as suspected, when I went in to try to make it correct in perspective with anatomy, it got stiff. And then I'm like, oh, this is too stiff, so let me kind of put a drawing over it. What I'll do is I'll have my layer in black and white, and then I'll take like a red and just quickly do like a stick figure over it with like cylinders, and I'm like, okay, that looks better. And then I redraw on top of that, and it stiffens up. And I've repeated that process like 3 or 4 times, where I've got it done, and then when I looked at it again, I'm like, that looks stiff or out of proportion or whatever, and then put in a quick gesture that looks correct, and then when I go to clean up the gesture, it gets messed up again. And this is something that I struggle with all the time. In almost every drawing I do, whether it's a page of a comic or a print or whatever, there's always some part where I just get stuck, where I know it's wrong and I can't make it right. And I'll look at a reference and I'll double check my perspective. And like I said, I'll do a quick gesture over it. And this is the tedious part that I hate about art, at least my art. This is why I don't like drawing. This is when people are like, oh, you don't like it? Like, this is the part I don't like. And it happens every time I draw. And I've talked about this before, and I believe it's, in part at least, intellectually knowing more than I'm physically capable of doing in terms of perceiving errors, because I'm trying to make it correct, objectively correct. Not, oh, I wish it could look a little bit better because, you know, let me brighten it up or whatever, but just like, no, it's wrong. Like, I could tell it's wrong, and I have trouble making it right. And that's where I am right now. I'm gonna stop. I've been beating my head against this wall for an hour or two. I'm gonna do something else and come back to it. But this is also where deadlines are good and bad, because I have to have this done by the end of the week. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be taking a break, but I know myself and I know I'm a professional, so I know worst case scenario, if I get to Friday and it's not, I will just do it. And I might not like it, but it'll be done. You know what I mean? So I gotta walk away before I get too frustrated. I'm just regular hate drawing frustrated level right now. 6:20, I took a short break. I did a little bit of housework, nothing major. And then I laid on the floor and convinced myself to get back to work, which I did. Well, let me show you. I'll preface by saying this is taking entirely too long, but I worked on Despero first because I knew he'd be easier. It's a monster face and stuff. I still struggled a little bit with his pose. I may adjust it a little bit, but more or less he was easy to do. Then I went back to Ted Blue Beetle here, and just getting into this shape took me hours. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how slow I am and how tedious it is to get things correct and how behind my skills are in my taste. But it's passable. This isn't final because I have to ink it, so that I'm allowing it to go because I know I have one more pass on him and him. So I gotta do booster, and then the background stuff will be super easy. Which is funny because, you know, growing up drawing in high school and stuff, it was always, I'd draw Venom and then nothing. Or, you know, if I had to draw a background, it'd be like, oh, I guess I'll draw a desk and, like, you know, not look at reference. And it was super tedious. And it is still time consuming, and it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it's a lot easier to get it right. It's straight lines and perspective. If I get it a little bit off from what an exact pizza shop would look like, it still looks like a table. It still looks like a room. It's much more mechanical. I don't have to stress about it as much. I just have to put the time in and make sure my, you know, perspective lines are there. Not to say I don't occasionally have issues with that too, but there's something, because it's less consequential than the figures in the foreground, which I enjoy more, which people like to look at more, which is the more exciting part. The backgrounds now I look at as the easy part in a way. Not always. Again, sometimes the perspective gets a little crazy, but generally they're less looked at. If they're wrong, it'll be less likely to be noticed. And I usually get credit from people just for doing backgrounds, just for putting the detail in, because a lot of artists don't, including me. And I've talked about this before. I came up in the image era when I was looking at like early image stuff, and I still like some of that stuff. Most of it I don't, but a lot of it was like, I'm flying through the air and just lines and no sense of background or spatial placement at all. And I absorbed that and put all my effort into drawing slobber and veins and chains and extremeness. And it wasn't until years later, through other classes I took and comics I enjoyed, that I'm like, I gotta really focus on backgrounds. And so I've swung so far the other way that sometimes my backgrounds are way more detailed than they need to be, and they get covered up by balloons and stuff. But my point is, when I'm looking at this now, I used to dread doing the background. Now I dread getting the characters right, because they're much more important. And even though they're fun and sort of easier, they're not, because I care so much more. I don't know, I'm getting into like the whole philosophy of why I have trouble drawing and why I have trouble enjoying it sometimes. But I've made progress. I'm happy with that. I didn't do my 30 minutes yet, but I gotta go make dinner. So we'll talk to you later. Me and my empty soda can. Oh, by the way, this happened yesterday in the past. Gazbot from yesterday. What's going on? Hello there, future. How is it in day 28? I'm calling from day 27. I'm not calling, although I am using a phone. What am I doing? Well, I edited the video and it's processing for today, meaning yesterday for you. But I got some awesome mail. It's a gigantic, heavy priority mail box. What's in it? I don't know, but I can tell you it's from Dede. She sent me some mail, some fun mail, some good mail, some mystery mail. And I can share it with my wife, although I don't know if I want to. She's asleep, so I can keep it all for myself. No, I probably won't, because I'm actually not that terrible of a person. I'm not that terrible. Anyway, let's see what's inside. This might require some speed fast forwarding. Ready? Go! Hey, we're back from fast forwarding. There are books of some sort in here. Wow. Okay, let's take a look here. Holy cow. Well, first off, Japan, the Pocket Guide. Found this at a library sale. Thought you and Q would like it. Well, I think we will too. Let's see. Oh, there's something in it. Hold on. Oh, wow, this is like a vintage. This is cool. It's even got pictures and everything. I guess I gotta go back to Japan. Now this is awesome. All right, now I'm just looking at the book while you're looking at me. Okay, what was inside? Oh, it's a little mini, like a moleskin, I think they call these. It's a Pentalic Illustrator sketchbook. For the illustrator, it's new. For the illustrator on the go. This was made in Beaverton, Oregon. Handmade in China. Whatever. It's a brown mocha little book, and what I like is it's got a little bookmark, so you can mark your page. This is cool. It was tucked in here like a little secret. Let's see what else we got here. Mixed media visual journal. Mixed media visual journal. What's your story? Mixed media vellum finish. I think. Oh, it's a sketchbook, but I guess it's the idea is to keep a journal, a visual journal. Well, duh, it says visual. It's a visual journal. I guess the idea is for it to be a visual journal. I'm so smart. Okay, so but it's a themed sketchbook. I like the size. I like this size. It's because it's not quite so tiny as this, but it's big enough that you could get something on there. That's awesome. Uh-oh. I don't think I'm going to be keeping this one. I think this is going to go straight to Q. She is the big Deadpool fan in the family. Not that I don't like Deadpool, but she is... Wow, color your own Deadpool. You know, she's been telling me, Dede's been telling me about these coloring books. Look at it. It's a little kid cable with the Deadpool. This is pretty cool. Looks like more than one artist has worked on this. It's all different styles. That's the cover of a Deadpool comic I remember seeing. Oh, look at that. It's Brian Posehn. Hold on. Let me back up for a second. I'm relatively sure that character there is the comedian Brian Posehn, who also wrote Deadpool for a while during this storyline, I believe. So I know a bit about Deadpool. You know, she's the expert, but I know a little. This is really nice. Yeah, this is definitely going to go to Q. Oh, man, I think she might even have this print. It's possible she has the color print of this. I'm looking around to see if I can see it. Maybe not, but I've definitely seen this art somewhere. Well, goodbye to this. This is going right to her. And look, oh, this is exactly what I used. Look at that. Strathmore, Bristol, 9x12. This is exactly the paper and the size I use for my commissions. And sometimes I'll cut it in half to do the headshots. Wow, these are all nice. I don't know if you were paying that close attention or if I just got lucky. These ones are neat and fun little experiments. This is awesome. This is great for Q, but this is straight up like what I would buy. So, man, this is crazy. It's thoughtful. It's generous. It's personalized. It's not just random things that you would give to anyone. It's certainly for me and for my wife, Q. I feel humbled and thankful and a little embarrassed. So, I thank you. Let me... Here. Oh, good. This is what packing paper, though. I can use this to cover my face because I don't know how to say thank you properly. Well, I'll try anyway. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, go back to the present day. Enough of day 27. Thanks, Dede. I want to leave a link below for her channel, too. You should check it out. She's a great artist, does portraits and other things. She once did a portrait of me. Why? Who knows? I don't know. She's great. Thanks for that report. Super exciting stuff, past Gazbot. Hey, here's something else. I'm warming up the heat, right? I'm warming it up. The oven. The oven is the heat. The Heat is also a movie with Melissa McCarthy and Sandra Bullock. Anyway, I have been going through things, reorganizing things, packing things, etc., and I came across something that I meant to talk about before from Godzilla Night, not Godzilla Night, from Godzilla Fest in Chicago, and it is this Kamen Rider illustration, artwork, piece from Jesse Cobb, Art of Jesse Cobb on Instagram, that I did not know I was getting. He had put one up, and I was like, yeah, finish that. It was the pencils, and he did, and he's like, there you go, Gaz. And I'm like, cool, man, and I just thought it was cool to see it. But then he was at G-Fest, and it was cool to get to meet him, and then he's like, this is for you, and I'm like, what? And he's like, I told you it's for you, and I was like, I did not know that. But I also thought that Q might like it, because I like Kamen Rider, but she's the bigger Kamen Rider fan, and so she has not seen this yet, so I'm excited to show it to you guys, and then later tonight, I'll show it to her. So thanks again, Jesse. Here I am in the kitchen. It's about 11:15 a.m. p.m. in the evening before midnight time. I'm holding this shakily. I apologize. Let me try to stabilize. Stabilizing. Stabilized. I am making a cup of coffee, but it is decaf, never you fear. And I need to do my 30 minutes. I hung out with Q, watched some TV, unpacked some things. It's amazing how much unpacking, putting away I have to do. Spending roughly a month away from home, doing things and shows will do that to you. But anyway, I am going to flip what I've been doing. Normally I do my 30 minutes and then relax and watch a show, but I'm going to watch a show, have some decaf coffee, have a donut, then do my work, because I've been having trouble sleeping lately. I mean, I always have a little bit trouble sleeping, but I've been like having a hard time getting on any kind of semblance of a schedule. And like last night, I went to bed at a kind of reasonable time, and I didn't get any sleep the night before, but then somebody's baby woke up screaming in the middle of the night, which is weird because I never hear a baby crying. But it must have been like their window was open, my window was open, and there was like a sound corridor from that baby's lungs right into my ear. And it was like, and then, but it wasn't constant where I could have like maybe tuned it out. It's like, and I'm like, oh, it's over. Falling back asleep. I was like, oh my gosh. So, needless to say, I didn't get a great night's sleep last night, and I want to be able to fall asleep and stay asleep. I'm not even worried if I sleep until 12 tomorrow, or if I don't go to bed until 4 tonight. I just want to get a solid 8, which I have not done in a few days. I'm not completely sleep deprived. I'm not like Comic-Con, Chicago levels of sleep deprived, but I'm a little bit less than my full energy self. So, I'm switching it up. Maybe if I eat now and do some work and go right from looking at work to bed, I don't know. I'm making up science here, but that's what I'm doing. Hey, chickadees and chickadoos, I'm back. It's almost 2 in the morning. I have done my work. I've been a good chicka-gazbot. Chicka. And I have done more than 30 minutes. I didn't keep strict track. I'm going to say an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Part of it was looking, I had redone my script. A while back when I went on my trip for the wedding down to LA, when I was first starting my 100 Days of Making Comics, the days that I did 4 or 5 days and then I failed and started over. So those are like episodes you didn't see that didn't count, or, you know, you said bits and pieces of. Anyway, I had taken the script and was starting to break down the thumbnails. And when I was doing that, I went from being 24, 25 pages to 28 pages because of the way the thumbnails broke down the panel structure. And I was looking for that script because as I'm doing the rough layouts, the rough pencils, layouts, whatever, I want to keep in mind what dialogue is being said where and what the direction is on each one, because some of these rough layouts are extremely rough, like where they were that big, you know, and I drew it 3 weeks ago, so I kind of forget what it was supposed to be now, which is why I need the script, but I need the actual script that had been revised. And so I couldn't remember what I did with it, and I looked at my iPad, I looked at my phone, and I realized I don't know what happened to the original, but I had emailed it to myself. So I found that email and went off it. So I spent a little bit of time doing that, didn't count that towards my 30. Then I worked on my 30. I went back to page 1 because I previously had done 2 and 3. And page 1 is an add-on page that was not in the script at all. All the other changes I made were just sort of formatting changes, like, oh, I need more room, so I'm going to make this page into 2 pages and spread stuff out, you know. But this was an actual, I just wanted to add a page. There's not even any dialogue. Arguably, it's not necessary. It was just a mood-setting page of Boots waking up and starting her day. Just in a situation we haven't seen her in, you know, establishing that she does in fact live with her uncle, and just to, you know, before we go back into her world and whatever's going on, just have a moment alone with her. But there's no dialogue whatsoever, so it was a very visual storytelling thing, which made it even harder when I was looking at my little thumbnails, so I had to figure that out. But luckily I got it squared away, did the panels, and got everything laid out, did all the nuts and bolts, did the first panel and the second panel. I'll show you now. So this is blank because this will be the interior credits. This is the inside cover, and then this is page 1. And as you can see, I've got Boots waking up, it's dark. This is like alarm sound effect. I am going to have some sound effects even though there's no dialogue, and it's dark and her hair's all messy. And then she's sort of walking by. This is going to be her uncle's room, which isn't apparent right there, but there's like a little creak or whatever. And the next panel is actually her hearing him snoring. So actually, there's no dialogue, but there's going to be a lot of sound effects. And then I also deliberately made it sort of a standard pattern of squares. It's 9 grids, but because it's like beats in the day, none are more important than the other. It's just sort of like getting ready. She's not thinking about it. It's not exciting. It's monotonous. So that was the idea there. But just to vary it a little, if you look, this is the shortest, that one's longer, and that one's longer. To like, it's so dumb. I feel stupid saying this, but like expanding consciousness. She's waking up. More is happening. And also, I scooted each one forward a little bit. See how that's a little more forward than that, and that's a little more forward than that.
again, just to help the movement on the page, because I wanted it to be monotonous, but I just could not bring myself to do 9 exact squares, so I had to vary it up a little bit. But as I said, I did at least an hour or more today between everything I did, but mainly these are the 2 visible, tangible things that I've done. So there we have it.
So I fear this one has gotten long. I'm not sure, but I feel like I've done a lot of talking, and I had a clip from yesterday, so, you know. But I will end the day. I'm going to be editing this a little late. Normally, I try to get it uploading at night so that in the morning it's already there, and then I just do my shares. But tonight I am probably not going to do that because I'm going to take this phone, bring it into bed with me, snuggle it up like a teddy bear. No, but I am going to edit in bed. Thank you, iMovie. I was using iMovie when I was on the go on my phone. Typically I do Windows Movie Maker, and once in a while I still do it if I need an effect or something, but iMovie is pretty robust, and I'll sometimes edit throughout the day, like while I'm, you know, doing the dishes or waiting online somewhere. I could like put some video edits in, and it's made it a lot easier for me than having to do it here. But I do then have to put it on the computer and upload it. So technically I can upload from my phone, but it seems to glitch out on me. Even when I'm home on my Wi-Fi, you know, oh, it'll take an hour, and I'll set it, wake up in the morning, nope, it failed. You know, heck, like that's the same thing happened when I was on the road. So I'm a big fan of it for editing, but not so big for the uploading. So I will likely edit it. This all doesn't matter. The point is I'm going to bed. I'm going to bring this with me. You're going to be seeing this later in the day. But when you're seeing it, it doesn't matter, because I'm telling you, you're going to have to wait. But you're already seeing it. So, hala. Hala? What is hala? I don't know. Is that some kind of food? I'm going to eat some hala. But not today, because today is day 28. I had to think for a minute. Day 28? Day 29. Today is day 29. Day 28. It's day 28. And if today's day 28, well then that means, what does it mean?
Hey, we've got 72 days left. All right.
Thank you once again. I need a camera stand? Is that what you're saying?